Hi there, Tom with New Currency University, and there's one question I get a lot, and I wanted to create a video to give you the answer. People say, well, Tom, why isn't OneCoin listed on CoinCap? Why isn't it on a public exchange? Answer's pretty simple, because we're private. It's kind of like asking, why isn't a private company in the private sector on the New York Stock Exchange? Well, because it's private, okay? And people say, well, yeah, but if you're going to create a currency, it has to be public. No, it doesn't. We've proven that. With over 3 million members worldwide, we are 10 times larger than Bitcoin. I think we've proven that we don't have to be. So I want to get that out of the way first. The second thing, I want to talk about some other examples. It's kind of like, why doesn't Colonel Sanders put his Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe online for everybody to see? Why doesn't he post it like any other recipe book does? Because he doesn't have to. Why doesn't Coca-Cola disclose their formula for Coca-Cola? Well, they don't want Pepsi to see it. Okay? We don't want Bitcoin to see our formula. We don't want Ethereum to see our formula. What's wrong with being private in building one of the largest companies in the world? We're on track, as of the time of this video, to do over $6 billion in revenue in our third year in business. Last time I checked, that's the fastest growing company in the world. So instead of ridiculing or criticizing our business model, you might look at the numbers and say, wow, what they're doing is working. Let me give you one last example to help you out, to really help you understand this question. Steve Jobs, he was the founder of Apple Computers, and Steve Jobs, for a long time, even today, kept his operating software private. And the programming community criticized him. And they said it wasn't fair and that he was doing something wrong behind the scenes and, blah, blah, blah. Same thing the Bitcoin people are saying about OneCoin. Guess what? Steve Jobs became the largest computer company in the world. So we'll take all the criticism, but we're going to keep all of the fame and all of the success. So if you want to go with Bitcoin and really be with a failed business model, go do that. Bitcoin is a failed business model. It's not scalable, it's inefficient, it's expensive, it's volatile, it's anonymous. It's all the things that people don't want to be a part of. And when you look at it around the world, though it looks like it's having a lot of success, it's because it's a pond that's being stressed out by millions of people. We want to play in an ocean. OneCoin wants to be in the $1 trillion ocean. Bitcoin will never be there. So when you think about Bitcoin and the criticisms they have of us and their experts, let me help you understand one thing. Dr. Russia was criticized when she came out with her new blockchain. She realized 2.1 billion coins wasn't going to be enough to be a global reserve cryptocurrency. The industry criticized her. Well, Ethereum gets hacked, and what do? They create a fork. A fork is basically creating a new blockchain, a new currency. Bitcoin recently has been talking about Bitcoin Unlimited and creating a new fork because the programmers, the people most intimate with Bitcoin, understand of its technological limitations. It's a first mover. And if you do your research, you'll find in technology, being a first mover is a distinct disadvantage. 88% of the time, second movers become the largest movers in the space. And that's what OneCoin's done. 10 times larger than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's created $20 billion in wealth for people. Nothing to take away from that. But OneCoin in 30 months has created $120 billion compared to Ethereum's $5 billion. So I would say that OneCoin has the best business model. And anybody that says, well, you should be doing this business model over here, why would I want to be second best? Why would I want to pursue a failed business model? So when you have people ask you, why aren't you public? The answer is simple. We don't have to be. In fact, a reason a lot of companies say stay private is because they want to keep the intellectual property that they have a secret. Because the minute you go public, you have to let everybody know every aspect of your company, and all of a sudden you can attract competitors. So I commend Dr. Russia. She was first to come out with the 1-minute blockchain. The industry ridiculed her. But you know what? We can do more transactions today in 1 month than Visa MasterCard can do in a year because we have the most advanced blockchain in the world. You know, when you look at Dr. Rusha making the decision to be KYC compliant and AML compliant, the industry ridiculed her, said that's not our business model. But you know what the countries around the world are saying? You know what RBI, Royal Bank of India, is saying? You know what Australia is saying? You know what the EU is saying? They're saying no more anonymous currencies. Okay? Well, we were the first in the game to start encrypting people's KYC and AML on our blockchain. Dr. Rusha has been ahead of the game, and she's been criticized by the industry, just as Steve Case was when he came out with AOL and came out with this big, frumpy-looking business model of internet service, and the programmers made fun of him because it looked like a cartoon in the beginning. He became one of the largest internet service providers, and AOL went on to buy Time Warner Corporation. So, folks, do your research and understand the facts before you listen to somebody else. OneCoin is leading the digital currency revolution. We are so far ahead of the rest of the industry, not only in usability, our blockchain is more advanced, our formula is scalable, Bitcoin's is not. So this is Tom McMurrin with New Currency University. I hope this video helped you better understand that question. Hey, one day we will be public, but we're not going public until we're ready. And right now we're not ready. We're growing faster than the rest of the industry. Fastest company to do $1 billion in revenue, highest paid teaching sales force in the world. We are the most trafficked website in the world in cryptocurrency. I think we're winning the game. So, folks, show this to your critics, let them understand what the facts are, and make your decisions based on facts, not on fiction. This is Tom with New Currency University. Thanks for your time.